wonderful day. We've got some cooler weather, which I was a little concerned last week when it was 115 degrees out. Well, if we had that now, but we don't. But it is a great day for the students in Montgomery and Macoupin County as we open the South Central Innovation and Workforce Development Center. It's a proud moment. It's been a while to get here. I know when we first started talking about this, there were a lot of skeptics in terms of could we get this done, but through hard work and dedication of our partners today, and of course the state of Illinois, we were able to get this done. So without further ado, we're going to kick this off. I do welcome you. I hope you had your tour and enjoy what you see here on behalf of students. This really couldn't have happened without Deputy Governor Manar. At that time, he was our senator, and then Senator Turner, who is not with us today, carried it over the finish line. But this really became part of the initiative of the Governor's Rebuild Illinois plan. We received the DCO funding for that. But what a way to rebuild Illinois by providing opportunities for our high school students in Montgomery and Macoupin County to be able to enter our workforce and be able to be productive members of society. Without further ado, I will introduce Governor Pritzker.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Greg, and it's great to see wait, can you hear me okay? Yeah. It's great to see everybody here today, and I mean, what a beautiful facility. What a beautiful facility, and what a great day to have this event, and I want to thank you all for joining us here at Litchfield School District. This is a great milestone to celebrate for this community and frankly for the entire state of Illinois. The South Central Illinois Training and Innovation Center opens its doors today not only for the students of Litchfield, but for students from across the entire region. Our high school students across Montgomery and Macoupin counties will have access to top-tier training in everything from welding to auto technology to precision machining and IT certifications too. That means students can secure critical skill building and industry credentials before they even secure their high school diploma, opening more options for students eager to secure good paying jobs right out of high school. And they'll be able to do it not in a converted classroom, but in this pristine facility. I have to say, as I walked room to room, you could just see that this would be a great place to learn in. I can only imagine that the young people who are sitting at the desks that I saw them at in their classroom are wondering why everything that they come across isn't as pristine as all of this. But coming here means they have real opportunity going forward, and they can feel it every day. Getting, the kind of specific hands-on learning that they will need to have a good career going forward. For the first time, students here in South Central Illinois will have access to 21st century career paths that can begin upon high school graduation. For decades, our nation pulled back from career and technical education for young people, choosing instead to focus only on four-year colleges and universities. But Illinois has a history of providing good-paying jobs with a great future to those who choose to go to work right from high school. And I have to say, I've dreamed of seeing this brought back with this kind of tried and true career training that doesn't require a kid to get strapped with college debt for the rest of their lives. I want to first give a shout out to our local laborers for developing the construction craft preparation program, who put their resources and know-how into helping our kids access early apprenticeship programs in the trades. But this couldn't have happened without Lincoln Land Community College and Lewis and Clark Community College, because this program also allows students who do choose to continue on with an associate's or a bachelor's degree to acquire college credit while learning their skilled trade. And that's because our colleges help to shape the curriculum here. We all know none of this is possible without the industry partners who are involved. This Training and Innovation Center is a testament to the best of private-public collaboration, with numerous private sector employers pouring resources into bringing this center to life. The school district has to see the need and prioritize action, and that's exactly what happened here. Litchfield Superintendent Dr. Greg Firstenow, Career and Technical Education Coordinator Dr. David Lett, and the Litchfield schools community turned this concept into a reality for their students, as did the schools all across this area. I mean, what a wonderful thing and an example of working together. Finally, state government leaned in. And first with the leadership of former state senator and now deputy governor Andy Manar, and later with Doris Turner, our great state senator, who ensured that this program became a reality and worked with my administration to appropriate $8.6 million in state funding. Thanks to them and to all who worked collaboratively to make this a reality. This program is set to become a model, truly a model, for rural communities across the state of Illinois. So I hope that you'll join me in giving them all a big round of applause. It's an exciting time for jobs and economic growth across downstate Illinois. Last year, our Rebuild Illinois State Infrastructure Program provided a $2 million grant to the city of Litchfield to extend gas and electric utilities to energize this industrial park, and major renovations at Lewis and Clark and Lincoln Land Community Colleges were also launched. Earlier this month, we broke ground on TCCI's Workforce Training Academy in Decatur, and of course our state's Climate and Equitable Jobs Act is also preparing and developing our electric vehicle and clean energy workforce, with applications due for our 13 regional workforce hubs on the first of the month. These are the types of strategic investments that build our workers' skills to take the jobs available right now in high-growth industries of the future. And maybe most importantly, this puts Illinois at the forefront of economic progress in the nation. So I want to thank you, and with that, I'd like to turn it over to someone who has quietly had truly an instrumental hand in developing innovative economic policies for our state, and whose humility keeps him from taking the credit that he so richly deserves. And that's former state senator and now deputy governor, Central Illinois' own Andy Manar.
All right, good afternoon. It's great to see, I'm looking out at the crowd and I see so many faces that I haven't seen in a while, so it's great to see everyone gathered here this afternoon. What an exciting time for the working families and the students of Macoupin and Montgomery counties. This is a remarkable day, and Governor, we thank you so much. I appreciate, and I know we all deeply appreciate you being here to officially open the center here in Litchfield. The Governor's vision for our economy in Illinois is focused on, first and foremost, job growth, and that starts with investing in our people and investing in our workforce, and that's exactly what's going to happen here at this center. There's a reason that Illinois has had a record number of jobs and historic low unemployment claims. There is a reason Illinois has had 5 balanced budgets that produce surpluses and not deficits, and that's how we are able to do what we're doing here today. There is a reason Illinois has received 8 credit upgrades, and our state's GDP has surpassed $1 trillion for the first time ever. There is a reason why we are ranked number 1 in the Midwest for infrastructure. I could go on and on and on about things that have changed for the better in Illinois, and the reason is because of Governor Pritzker's leadership, and this center is another testament to that. So, Governor, we thank you for that continued leadership to allow us to open this center today. To the center, the concept is quite simple. I think we all know it because of where we live. We see it and breathe it each and every day, but it's a simple concept. Not every student dreams of a college degree, and not every employer needs a student with a college degree. And not every rural school district can offer the programs that employers need right away to fill critical workforce vacancies. Yet that need to fulfill the dreams of kids in small towns often goes unmet, despite the desire to get it done. Well, that's not going to happen anymore here in Montgomery County and Macoupin County because of the leadership of Dr. Firstenow and Dr. Lett and the Litchfield School District and the surrounding school districts for coming together and being able to offer kids more opportunity. I got my first glimpse. Now, actually, Greg corrected me when we were talking with the governor at the door, but I thought I got my first glimpse of this in 2018. He tells me it's earlier. I'm going to trust him completely. But oftentimes, these two gentlemen would take me to lunch at Ruby Tuesday, just up the street. I think it's Lett's favorite. Maybe it isn't. But they would come up with ideas, and they would come up with thoughts about how they could do something to improve the lives of the students that they get up each and every day to serve. And I'll tell you, it's not a hard sell when it comes to Greg and David, because that's what they do. Serving students is their guiding light. Serving students in public education is their guiding force. So I want to take the opportunity not just thank them for leadership on this center, but also to talk just quickly about school funding in Illinois, which they are very much responsible for. We should be clear that if school funding in Illinois weren't stable and weren't increasing, it would be very difficult for school districts like Litchfield or Bunker Hill or Gillespie or Hillsborough to take a leap like this and to participate in something like this. So when schools don't worry about instability in Springfield, they have confidence to dream a little bit bigger. And the governor should be commended for being a protector of evidence-based funding and for making it one of his highest priorities each and every year. That stability is key to making things like this happen for school districts across the state. So Greg and David, I commend you for your vision and your execution of this task. It's a big one, but you got it done. Also to the Litchfield School District for taking a leadership role. For the partners in the private sector, Earl Flack, who we're going to hear from Napa, who has been a big supporter of this. And then, of course, the laborers, and John is here. John Penn, thank you for being here, for stepping up and being a big part of what is happening here. You should all be commended for seeing the potential of this center. And finally, the governor mentioned Senator Doris Turner, who followed me in office. She should be, frankly, commended for landing the plane. She got the money released working with the governor, and that has allowed us to take this step today. So, Governor, again, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure to share a podium with you. It doesn't happen too often. But with that, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Representative Wayne Rosenthal. Thank you.
So, good afternoon. As Andy said, I'm state representative for the 108th. I'm also a trustee at Lincoln Land Community College and vice chair currently. And I was a state rep here for this area from 11 to 15, and that's the first time that I met Dr. Lett and Dr. Firstenow, and it was pretty obvious from the first meetings that they were passionate about everything to do with education, whether it be from all levels, from K through 12 and on, and also the funding, which Andy talked about, the evidence-based funding, which I know that when Andy was senator, he worked very closely with Dr. Lett and Dr. Firstenow, and that's how they got that done. So what I would say is that this was their dream and their vision, and like Andy said, they sat down and had a lot of meetings, a lot of ideas, but they're the ones, what they did is they found the people that they needed to, first of all, Andy, to sit down and talk about, brought in other partners, and their vision and dream is here today. You know, that's what you have. You can talk about all the benefits, which the governor's talked about, which Andy's talked about. It benefits everybody in the area, but it's instrumental. They were instrumental in bringing this here. I have no doubt that plenty of room to expand, and you have the right two people at the leadership helm to make that happen. You got support of the Litchfield community. You got all the local schools throughout Macoupin and Montgomery County. And so I think this is a big collaborative effort on everybody's part. And so I would just want to thank Dr. Lett, well, he's out there. And Dr. Firstenow, for all your support and everything that you've done. Like I said, they're passionate about this, and I think this is going to be a big benefit for all the local communities. So thank you. And I get to introduce the mayor of Litchfield, Steve Daugherty.
It's good to see everyone here on this great day. Governor, you stole my speech. So I'm going to take my time to tell you about this community and the region. My administration has been regionally minded forever, and it's good to see the same philosophy in this building here and to hear from Dr. Lett and Dr. Firstenow about what their plans are, not only for this building, but for all the new buildings in town, and all the way down to kindergarten. We're going to teach kids the importance of going to work and give them the ability to succeed. This community is just under 7,000 people. We have a $30 million budget this year. We're busy. We treat it like a business because it certainly is. We have a full-time city administrator, a full-time economic development director, a full-time tourism director, and many, many dedicated employees. But we understand, though, that we can't grow without being regionally minded, because most of our business comes from outside our community. I think we have about 6,800 people at night and over 8,000 during the day, because we provide so many jobs in this community. But we rely on people that don't live in our community to support our economic development with a 0.5% sales tax and all the efforts that we make in dealing with state government, federal government, et cetera, for grants and that type of thing. What we are lacking, though, is a well-trained workforce that we will be dedicated to going to work. And that's what we need, and that's what SCI will provide us. So it's a great day for us, for the entire region. And Governor, I invite you back to watch us grow. We are definitely going to do it. So that was easy because he said it all. And now I'm going to invite Roger Eddy.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here today to celebrate the opening of an incredible addition to workforce training and education in Illinois. I want to congratulate my friend David Lett and Dr. Firstenow for their vision and their hard work on this project. They worked very diligently to make this happen. And I'd be a little remiss if I didn't thank Senator Manar for his work in education generally. I've been involved in public education in some manner for over 40 years. And Andy Manar, sitting here, is one of the key reasons, if not the key reason, that we have a new funding formula in the state of Illinois. So, Senator, thank you for that. And I want to thank the governor. Senator Manar, Deputy Governor Manar is right. Doesn't matter what formula it is if it's not funded. And the fact that that formula has been funded as a priority has made a significant difference to this region and many other regions across the state. Vision is an important part of moving something forward. And with this new center, we're going to improve education and workforce opportunities for students and our communities. That vision has resulted in the realization of this day. And it kind of reminds me of the way Hall of Fame hockey player Wayne Gretzky approached hockey. A good hockey player, he said, plays where the puck is. A great hockey player plays where the puck is going to be. Then, of course, the plan has to be executed. Thomas Edison famously stated, "Vision without execution is hallucination." There's no hallucination here. This is real. It took a vision that included important realizations about rural Illinois and the needs of our citizens. It's critical that business, industry, labor, and all of our education stakeholders, K-12 and community colleges, work together in a collaborative manner. A regional approach is vital. It just makes sense to share scarce resources. In my career, I've been a teacher, a high school principal, a school superintendent, a state representative, and recently, at 2 locations in Southern Illinois, an interim community college president. And I'm pleased to currently serve on the State Board of Education. Thank you, Governor, for that appointment. And I can assure you that without this collaboration, we likely would not be standing here today recognizing the South Central Illinois Regional Workforce Training and Innovation Center. The vision that drove the opening of the 25th Career Center in Illinois, and I believe the first since the early 1970s, I might add, will fill an important need of providing career pathways for our students in state-of-the-art, as you can see, learning facilities. And quite frankly, as I walk through, I'll admit to being a little envious of this facility for my part of the state. Career and technical education provides opportunities for our next generation of students. CTE also provides business and industry, and all of us, a prepared workforce for the future. Thank you again for the opportunity to be here. Congratulations on your success and what you will be providing to our students and our communities. And it's my pleasure to introduce someone that you all know, President Warren from Lincoln Land College. President.
The short one. Some of you may know, some of you are too young to know, that Lincoln Land really exists in a large part because of the community of Litchfield. Some of the Litchfield members were the ones who got together and said, we have to have a community college. There was no Lincoln Land Community College, and worked hard to make that happen. And so I guess what goes around comes around. We have a very large district, but Litchfield has always been important to us. And in 1990, we started a presence in town. 93, we moved in next door. And what I'll say now is, you worry when buildings sit empty that you're going to have good neighbors. I think we've got some good neighbors. We're safe now. It's going to be great. Lincoln Land has a large workforce program, and it's growing exponentially. Our enrollment is up this year, about 7%, which is a great thing, and I would say most of those numbers are in workforce. That's good for us, but it's good for our communities. It's good for economic development. It's good to have people out there who are going to fill the jobs that you so desperately need them to fill. So we look forward. It's been a journey. I remember the first time I talked to David, and I would not say it was necessarily a conversation. It was kind of, you're going to do this, so just figure out how to make it happen, because I'm just going to keep beating you up until you do. Dog with a bone, I would say, and a good one, and a great one. We're glad to be a partner, to have had assistance to help design this building and to work with the students. They are also our students, and so that makes it even more special. Dual credit are ours, dual enrollment are ours, and we are excited to have them also be a part of the Lincoln Land family. So thank you, and thank you for all you've done. And now I want to ask Superintendent Hopper to say a few words.
Good afternoon, Governor Pritzker, Lieutenant Governor, distinguished guests, members of our communities. I also want to thank the Litchfield team for affording me a few minutes this afternoon. I have the honor of serving in several capacities. One is the South Central Illinois, or the SCI Prairie Works president. Prairie Works is a non-profit organization developed by community members and schools to help support this center. I'm also part of the governing board for the SCI Center and serve alongside 8 other superintendents across our region to meet the needs of kids. I am humbled and honored also to serve as the Panhandle Superintendent, and representing our Board of Education today is Teresa Payne. I'd like to thank you for supporting this cause and also supporting our school district and our kids. Like many journeys in life, our story of the development of the center and the expansion of CTE opportunities for students and the realization of a dream experienced many twists and challenges along the way. The story of the center began with 4 school districts here in Litchfield, Hillsborough, Nokomis, and Panhandle, and their superintendents acknowledging the need for CTE and advanced opportunities for students. Each of our county schools, unique with its needs, share common desires. Common desires to educate students and to reach their maximum potential. We began in the fall of 2019 to work with Lincoln Land and other state and local agencies to design a plan for expanded opportunities. We reached out across the state and the nation to find innovative ways to meet students' needs. School year 2020, it should not be remembered for how schools in Illinois met the needs of COVID. But in Montgomery County, it should be remembered for the birth of a new cooperative educational adventure, the CTEI Center and SCI Center. I am proud of our advances, particularly in Panhandle, because beyond these walls, there's other CTE programs that are part of this center. We have programs in Nokomis, Litchfield, Hillsborough, and at Lincolnwood with our Ag Academy. It started in 2020. Our Ag Academy worked closely with Lincoln Land and the neighbors to create innovative CTI opportunities for our kids. We are now one of few schools in Illinois to have a farm bot. We've expanded our drone operation and drone program, and we continue to develop partnerships and opportunities in advanced precision agricultures with partners across the country. Prior to 2020, our students at Lincolnwood had very limited opportunities for CTE courses beyond our walls of our buildings, or even dual credit opportunities. This past year, 60% of our students graduated with dual credit and some with more than 30 hours of credit. Today, we are excited to be a part of the SCI Center and to share students across our districts to create dynamic opportunities for learning and provide experiences that are unique in Illinois. Without the schools of Montgomery County and Macoupin County working so closely together these past few years, this center, our Ag Academy, and the other regional programs would not be a reality. Today, though, the opening of the center, the reality of opportunities for students is now clearly visible for all in Montgomery County, Macoupin County, those that travel Interstate 55, and Illinois as a whole. Students in our region will be better prepared, more equipped with advanced skills, and graduate ready to join our communities as adults. Adults who will continue to help our region and our beautiful state of Illinois to be a great place to live, learn, and work. Thank you. It's my honor to introduce Earl Flack, who also serves on our the Prairie Works Board and many other capacities. Earl.
Good afternoon. My name is Earl Flack. I represent McKay-Knapp Auto Parts. I'm President and CEO, headquartered here in Litchfield, Illinois, which Deputy Governor Manar has visited many times, I might add. But I represent the automotive aftermarket, which is a huge industry. And when I first started talking to Dr. Lett and Dr. Firstnow, they reached out to me and said, I want to learn more about the aftermarket. So we jumped in my truck, headed and visited the car dealerships in Macoupin and Montgomery County, and headed down south to community college. I think I bought lunch that day. But the partnership between business and education has to be there today. There's such a shortage of technicians, and we're going to talk about that briefly. I've got some statistics on that. But the business and the partnership we have with the schools is second to none. And that's where this business is headed. I recently hosted some people here last week. Dr. Lett gave a tour to two people from Atlanta, Georgia, that was out fact-finding. How do we business partner with the schools? How do we business partner with the high schools and colleges to get kids interested in our business? And they left your eyes wide open, I can tell you that. A statistic that I would share with you, that between 2022 and 2026, there'll be 1 million technician shortage. 1 million. That's in the automotive, the diesel, the collision, and aviation. So you talk about a growing field. We're in a growing field right here. And what's more complicated than a car? The truck has got several cameras on today, so the technician need is real. A quote from our Marty Walsh, our VP of Marketing in Atlanta, Georgia, says this: as the complexity of the automobile and other transportation vehicles become more complex, to fix and upkeep necessity for trained technicians becomes more important than ever. Technicians are needed in both our shops as well as other positions in this aftermarket. Therefore, creating a pipeline of trained technicians worldwide and customers become our customers. So you can see that they're very serious in headquarters in Napa about growing this business. So 1 million technician shortage. So this is what I would say to you. Summary and opportunity. A vision. Everybody's got to have a vision to create a positive shift in the way technician career centers are perceived. correct? We talked about technicians. Those are the guys that have grease under their fingers. They're still out there. But a technician today is the person working in a gaming place like we saw at a school down south recently. A mission to embark upon the largest issues facing the automotive industry and the lack of qualified talent. And that's true today. An objective, pioneer solutions that directly impact the future of automotive industry while creating long-term brand for our business. So with that being said, I represent the aftermarket. I'm passionate about the aftermarket. And I can't tell you that I can always pick up the phone or text Andy Manar. I'll call him Andy because he's a personal friend. He can be in session and he will respond to me. So that kind of connection with the Litchfield School District, Hillsborough, and all the schools involved here, Raymond and Gillespie and Macoupin County, is second to none. Thank you for your time today. I appreciate it. I will introduce President of the School Board. Hey, where's she at today? There you are, Jen Fable. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and thank you for being here today. It's an honor to be here with you. During my time with you today, I get to thank and recognize those that helped make this possible. It is the true definition of trust and teamwork at so many levels you will see when I recognize those that helped make this possible. And we would not be here today if it were not for all of you trusting in the process and working together. I would first like to thank my fellow board members, a few of which are here today, Mr. Ron Anglin and Mr. Jimmy Gorowski. It's been an honor to work on this project with you, and I thank you for your commitment to our students and the students of this region and for your teamwork. I would also like to thank the boards of education, superintendents, high school principals, and counselors of the 9 governing board member districts. Thank you to the City of Litchfield and Mayor Doherty. Mayor Doherty and his administration have been supportive throughout the process and shown their commitment by donating an instructor and classroom space for students participating in the EMT training program. Thank you, Mayor Doherty. Mayor Downs of Hillsborough and Mayor Oswald of Carlinville, thank you for your community support of regionalism and your regional thinking. Thank you to our 2 community college partners, Dr. Warren and her Lincoln Land Community College team that is represented here today, Dr. Trezaska and his team at Lewis and Clark Community College. I would also like to thank our business partners, the John D. Brubaker Foundation. Thank you for providing virtually all of the equipment in the Auto Tech lab. McKay Napa Auto Parts, Mr. Flack. Thank you for outfitting a micro auto parts counter that will serve the Auto Tech lab. WorkSaver. Thank you for outfitting the welding lab with supplies, materials, and gas for the welding program. To the Illinois laborers and contractors, thank you for partnering with us to provide one of your outstanding instructors, Mr. Jason Jackson, and for committing to another site for your high school apprenticeship training program. And my last 2 thank yous go to the 2 gentlemen that dared to dream big and think boldly about how we bring trades programs to the high school students in this region. Dr. Lett and Dr. Firstnow. Long ago, I think this planning has been for a while, you understood there was a need to provide students with career paths in the trades. From that, you developed a vision and a plan to build a center such as this. You also understood this was bigger than one small town or rural community in Illinois. And from that plan, we needed to develop relationships and partnerships throughout the region. Your dedication and relentless pursuit of the successful completion of this project is admirable and will leave a lasting impact for students, local businesses, and the communities located in South Central Illinois. Thank you. Thank you to all of our partners for providing this opportunity for our students in this region. And now we're on to the part we've all been waiting for, and that's for the ribbon cutting for the grand opening of the new South Central Illinois Workforce Center.
Partners, if you make your way to the second row here.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Make sure you're seen between people.
Okay, the day we've been waiting for. 3, 2, 1.
All right, gentlemen. I mean, different day, same guys. Come on, you know. Well, that's good. Well, it's good to see you. Yeah, and you had a vacation last week. All right, so we'll let you get your thoughts together.
White Sox, any thought about them moving? I mean, especially with, ISLA, playing the team great deals. Obviously, the state control has the sports facilities and the White Sox. Any thoughts on them if they wanted to move out of Comiskey?
Well, we certainly don't want them to leave Chicago or Comiskey. But as you know, I really don't think that the state should be involved in funding private teams. But, always, of course, welcoming of any conversations with the Reinsdorfs, and I know that the White Sox are very important to everyone in the city of Chicago. I may be a Cubs fan, but honestly, I think the White Sox are terrific, and, their day is ahead.
Every time we get a conviction in this federal investigation, it reignites the talk around ethics reform. And we had Republicans calling last week for more ethics reform in the Capitol, some of their bills to move forward. Do you believe Democrats have done enough in the legislature to kind of rid those scars from Madigan and just that stench of corruption around Illinois politics so far with ethics reform legislation?
No, there's always more that we should be doing. And in fact, every year we should be looking at ethics reform and making changes and improvements. As you know, since I became governor, we've had 2 pretty significant ethics reform bills that have passed that I've signed. And I continue to work with the legislature to find ways that we can improve upon those. But I'm proud of the work that we've already done. I don't think there's anything indicated in the Mapes trial in particular that leads to action, but certainly everything that's led up to what will be a Madigan trial and what already has been the ComEd 4 trial has been indicators of things that ought to change. And again, I've led on much of that to make sure that we're, with regard to utility reform, making sure we have ethics in the process there, and making sure that we're improving the way the legislature operates so that we can rid ourselves of corruption once and for all.
Just to follow up on that, I got a separate question. What lessons can be learned from this whole saga? I mean, I don't know how much you've read of all the indictments or what the prosecution's revealed, but the paper play, the type of close relationship they have. Is there anything like, for instance, you internally are doing within your administration to ensure that these types of close relationships and that nexus of power that Madigan had of big money in politics and controlling legislation, what lessons do you think should be learned from that?
I think we've learned lessons and are acting upon that. Just as I said, we've passed ethics legislation several times. In fact, we ought to be continuing the improvement process. But remember, it's also about electing good people to public office and then holding people accountable if, in fact, they're corrupt, if they're breaking the law. And that's happening. So I think what's happening as a result of people being convicted is it's sending a signal to people who are thinking about running for public office or people who are in office today that they're not going to get away with it.
The White House is talking about a new COVID vaccine come September or mid-September. I think Pfizer's actually said that. Where are you going to stand on state workers? Are they going to be mandated to get a vaccine come this fall? What about other policies that may be implemented in schools, for instance, masks or exclusion or anything like that?
I think we've done a good job of making sure that we get a significant majority of our population vaccinated. That's happened. We want people to continually update their vaccinations. As you know, in order to avoid the newest strains of the flu, people go in every year, particularly the most vulnerable, to make sure that their flu vaccines are up to date. Now you'll be able to do it all in one shot. As I understand, there'll be a combination of the COVID vaccine and the flu shot for people who want to do that. But we're going to continue to communicate about this. As you've seen, there's been an uptick in cases recently, but still there's a very low level of transmission across the state of Illinois. And I'm very pleased about that, and it's because the people of Illinois have taken good care of themselves and each other.
So no mask mandate or school exclusion or anything like
No. In fact, I will tell you that I find it, funny that you see on Facebook, the Facebook fakery about, some kind of coming mandate. Nobody's even talked about that. It's not a real thing. But what is a real thing is people need to take care of themselves, and particularly those who are most vulnerable. We're talking about people who are sick, who have cancer, people who are elderly, and frankly, everybody. It's not a bad idea for people to go in and make sure that they have up-to-date flu vaccines and up-to-date COVID vaccines. Thank you.